People in San Francisco keep getting quite the surprise when they walk into this convenience store and find that the place is actually run by a dog. Each morning, Major opens up shop and takes his spot behind the counter, waiting for his first customer of the day. After he rings you up, instead of flipping a tablet around and asking for a monetary tip, Major simply requests a small treat in exchange for his service. And when he gets tired of working the register, he just asks his human coworker Omar to take over, and he becomes the official store greeter instead. Omar has co-managed Key Food Market for 20 years, and in that time he's become more and more passionate about fostering community. He knows his regulars' names, makes a point to introduce neighbors to each other, and recognizes their special occasions, even throwing birthday parties in the store. So Major is more than just a cute mascot. He's actually helping Omar accomplish his goal of creating a tight-knit community, giving people one more thing to bond over. Omar and Major have created such a neighborly environment that some say they walk past multiple stores just to visit this one. It's the kind of place you can chat with a friend or find assistance when you're going through a hard time, or just pet an incredibly friendly dog cashier whenever you need to. There's a town in Kentucky that has been run by dogs for over 25 years, and it's working well for them so far. The qualifications for a mayoral candidate in the unincorporated town of Rabbit Hash are simple. You have to be able to walk to the town center from your house in under an hour if you're a human, or chase a rabbit there in under an hour if you're an animal. Ducks and geese are ineligible, and humans don't usually bother to run since animals are the clear favorites. And while a town council is available to help with decision-making, the mayor always has the final bark. A race for mayor runs every 4 years, and it doubles as a fundraiser for the Rabbit Hash Historical Society, as each vote costs $1 and goes directly to the upkeep of the historic place. The tradition started in 1998 as a fun way to fundraise for needed building restorations. The town's first mayor was named Goofy, followed by Junior the Black Lab. Then came Lucy Lou, who served 2 terms, and whose second campaign funded the reconstruction of the town's general store, which had been destroyed by a fire. Gwyneth Paltrow followed, and the current mayor is named Wilbur, who beat out several dogs, a cat, donkey, and a rooster in 2020. This year's vote is already active, and a dog named Pablo has an early lead. But things may change in the next few months as candidates begin to hold events around town. Final votes will be tallied on November 5th, and the winner's inauguration will take place shortly thereafter. And a stray dog joined a runner for 77 miles out of a 155-mile ultramarathon. There was no way he could just forget about her. And despite a serious setback, he went to incredible lengths to make sure she'd never have to fend for herself again. Dion Leonard became an ultra runner as a way to process and heal from scars left behind from a very difficult childhood. In the middle of a 155-mile race in the Chinese Gobi Desert, a small, stray dog picked him out from the crowd and started running with him. By the time they'd run 25 miles together, Dion named her Gobi and started sharing his food and water with her. He could see that, like him, she had had a difficult early life, but she was resilient in the same way that he had to be. Seeing so much of himself in her, he promised her that he'd give her a better life and bring her home with him to the UK. But due to travel restrictions, Gobi had to stay under someone else's care for a while before she could leave the country. And while Dion was back in the UK preparing for her arrival, he received the devastating phone call that Gobi had gone missing. Determined to keep his promise to her, he flew back to China and launched his own search party, personally handing out hundreds of flyers. Miraculously, after 10 days, a local spotted Gobi and took her in. And when Dion went to their house to confirm that it was her, she immediately ran into his arms. This time, Dion decided to stay in Beijing for 4 months until her quarantine period was done, and then he finally brought her home. Ever since, Dion and Gobi have been 2 peas in a pod, with a truly unbreakable bond.